So welcome back then, and here we are, riders coming to the gate. Taylor Hamill then on the DRT Kawasaki sneaking in next to the doghouse. You were talking on to our youngsters last night in the Mission Hospitality about the gate choices and everything, Justin, about how important it is to pick the right one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can see on camera here, but there's a fair, the gate framework itself is very, very thick. And, it does catch a few riders out as they're going the other side of the gate. And there's a certain change of technique, but, definitely regarding position-wise, centre of the box.
Here we go then. Heads down, get 5 second board is up. They're away. Let's see who's got the jump. And that looked like the Kawasaki in the middle. Was that Taylor Hamill? Looked a green bike as they went into...
That's Chris Mills.
Oh, Millsy, yeah. Number 27 off Chris Mills. Adam Sterry there in second. Yeah, Sterry there in second.
Conrad in third, I believe. Conrad Mewse in third. So he's got out in a good shape on this one, to be honest. And this will be quite an interesting first lap to see what happens between these guys.
So I think that Adam Sterry's going to want to clear Chris Mills as quickly as he can and give himself a chance. And there he goes down the inside. Mewse is up the inside as well on the number 27. Down the Prox alleyway there and down to the railway turn. So didn't see where Josh Gilbert was, but I think he was there in 4th or 5th as Mewse makes the pass on Chris Mills as they come through that little jump section. Lovely part of the track with these nice waves in that, Justin, yeah?
Yeah, it is, and like I say, Adam Sterry's been really, really good this year, getting out front very, very quickly in all the races, and I'm really keen to see how Josh Gilbert does this kind of like stage of the year now. I believe that they've managed to get hold of some Hondas, which has been a massive shortage for them.
Yeah.
And he's now ended up with a new engine and stuff, and so I'm looking to see good things from Josh through today.
Sterry has a look across then at our red plate, and are undefeated so far. Championship leader Conrad Mewse. They come through the big... It's got a little bit out of shape there. That's cost him some time, Justin.
Yeah, I mean, the track is, it's been a while since these guys were out around about 11, 12 o'clock. And the track's really starting to take shape and form. And it's, they've got to keep their wits about them on this track because it is really roughening up. And, once they get the first couple of laps underway, they'll 100% find lines that they're going to be comfortable with. And then you'll start to see some really good lap times.
Gilbert then is the man there in the background in 3rd position as they join back onto the track. So Adam Sterry then on the Chambers KTM. He's been out there on the GP trail this year. He's our Planet Moto first lap leader, so he'll get some points in that one. And we'll have to see how it is at the end of the day as Mewse tries to tickle his way around the inside. That's a nice line there. Having to wheelie into that table now. It's dug out quite badly on the upside.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying before, Conrad is very, very technical at stuff like that. He'll pick up the front wheel over and across bumps and make light of work, maybe turn 3 bumps into 2 kind of thing. And he's very technical like that, and I'm pretty sure that you'll see a pass very quickly from him.
Yeah, he's down the inside there as they came into the railway turn. And he's set that up down the Prox alleyway there through the waves. Just got a little bit of a run on Adam Sterry. He was levelling in the straight beforehand and just made Adam take the inside line into the turn. So we'll see now whether the Welshman has anything in the tank to try and keep some pressure on. Adam, one of the fittest guys out there. Certainly not struggling for strength and endurance with his GP stuff. But Conrad's still coming back from that hand injury earlier on in the year and still not... fully up to race fitness, not getting much bike time, I don't think, between events still.
I spoke to him yesterday and his father, Steve, and I think there was an issue there, obviously, with the wrist, with the dislocated lunate, but he had some light blood issue that was happening. He had some kind of like stale blood, if you like, trapped in the back of the wrist. I think that's pretty well over and done with now. He's been over in Holland doing a fair bit of training for this weekend in particular. And I think the situation is all pretty all clear right now.
So he takes the lead. Sterry there in second. Gilbert across the line in 3rd. Still 4th then for our whole shot taker, the number 27 off Chris Mills. He's there in 4th. Carpenter, Mewse's teammate on the 184. He's there in 5th on the Crendon True 7 Honda. So backing up his teammate.
I'm looking forward to seeing what Josh has got to bring to the party in this race, really. He's had a couple of good GP results, and speaking to him just recently, he's pretty confident and happy with the bike. And like I say, doing the Grand Prix that he's been at, his racecraft and fitness is without doubt, in a great shape. And already you see Adam Sterry looking over his shoulder, so he knows that the race with Conrad is over, and now it's just kind of like survival for the second spot. And Josh will definitely sense that. And I would definitely say that Josh has got a serious amount of fitness to him, and with the track developing as it is, it wouldn't surprise me that you see that gap close quite rapidly.
Yeah, so Gilbert then in third, Mills, Carpenter, Taylor Hamill then. He was the man that looked like he certainly led down the start straight. That green front mudguard was without in front as we went to the wide shot into the first turn, but he obviously got cut off by Mills. I think Mills might have started just slightly inside of him and then bossed the line in the way into the first turn, which I think has been modified a little bit to make it a little bit better, and it certainly seems for the first 3 game drops we've had that it's been a lot better than it has been in the past.
Yeah, it's a massive improvement on the start for just safety and overall, riding, stability for the guys. Really, they can really push hard into it, where before used to be they've gone through different figurations of the first turn, but at the moment it's proven to be a really, really positive change.
So nice bit of footage there, just watching him ping round that corner, feet up style. There's the 184 of Jamie Carpenter. That was a really nice bit of cornering. I'd say the man who is the second rider on that Brendan True 17 holding sway at the minute. But Taylor Hamill, another guy that had his injury woes over the past couple of seasons, but I remember seeing him first time out in a 250 GP, I think it was a few years ago at Matterley, and he looked like a rider that had GP swagger, and he's been pretty good on this 450 Cowie in the few races that we've seen him on it.
He's just had a massive string of injuries on the journey that he's at, and I'm sure if you spoke to him, he'd much prefer to be still doing GPs, to be totally honest with you. But with injury after injury, it soon cuts into your progression, unfortunately. But looking at the lap times from Conrad, last lap around a 52 in comparison to a 55 of Adam Sterry, and just showing his authority on the circuit here. And like I say, this circuit itself really, really suits Conrad absolutely down to the ground with his technical skills.
So Carpenter then into the Apico turn. He's not got a lot of breathing room. Chris Mills is still there in 6th, 3rd and 7th, and it's husband 8th, Martin Barr 9th, and Ben Edwards in 10th. The Scotsman, like saying, took a race victory off Conrad Mewse in Scotland. Adam Sterry took one off him at the midweek Raider meeting a couple of weeks ago, so he's beatable. So that gap that Gilbert to Sterry's definitely coming down there, Justin, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. You can just start to see, he'll start to hear the bike of Josh in the background, and, that'll definitely make him tense up on the bike, and, he'll be definitely trying to survive this second place rather than focusing on Conrad in the front, and I think that's what you saw happen with race 1 in the MX2. Oriel got away from Billy Askew, and before you know it, Billy's looking at Tommy Searle for reference rather than Oriel Oliver, and all of a sudden then he's trying to control the second place rather than pushing forward. And I think this is what you'll see here with Adam Sterry. He knows that Conrad's gone out into the distance, and he'll be wanting to control the position for him in second place. Well, Josh will feel that, and that will give him a real good push forward to try and close the gap.
A couple of little mistakes there from Adam Sterry as he came down the railway straight, and Gilbert will be hopefully able to see those, and again just the rear end breaking away. So only 10 points separating these guys in the championship at the moment. Just having a quick look up on the board. So Adam Sterry 12 points adrift of Conrad Mewse, with Josh Gilbert a further 10 back, and then it's Jamie Carpenter, he's 36 adrift of our championship leader. So this is kind of this is where the battle for second place in the championship is, and And I think that with Josh Gilbert being as close as he is to Adam Sterry, he will want to push on and try and turn what will be Sterry taking another few points out of him into something that goes the other way, and closing down on the Welshman.
The one thing is, obviously, is that, you know, you can catch a rider in front of you, but, you know, it's very difficult. It's another thing to then pass, you know, and that's where Josh has got to try and be a little bit more creative out on the track now, because, you know, for him to catch Sterry is going to be one thing, but to make the pass and to, you know, get in front of him he's going to have to change a few things up, and that's going to be a thoughtful process to go through. But with that, you know, Jamie Carpenter's really coming into his own in this race as well, and he's now spread away from Taylor Hamill, so he's been a good couple of laps for Jamie Carpenter in this race for sure.
If Pitboard will tell him that his lead is going up over Taylor Hamill, and that will be exactly what he wants to see. There's a couple of nice corners where you can get a visual reference here. That's a cheeky one. You can just have a look back there if you get a chance. And but obviously, I would assume that you're always telling your guys eyes forward.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, the race is in front of you, it's not behind, you know, and but being in Adam's position is a really difficult position to be in, you know, and he lost a toe from Conrad basically after the first lap, so it's very difficult, and to motivate yourself to, you know, to keep pushing on, and that's where the mechanics come into their own. Probabilities are that the mechanics should be putting on their lap times. Every lap that you come through, you should be seeing your lap times, and if that lap time is dropping, then obviously, you know, the guys behind are possibly going to catch. But Adam's kind of like a sitting duck at the moment, and I think it won't be, you know, that long before you see Josh get into that position to make a pass. And you know, Josh is a very, very fit young guy, and you know, he and Adam knows that as well, so that's going to be another factor, because it's warm today, you know, even though we've just had a thunderstorm, you know, it's you know, the fitness really does come into their own with the heat, especially today. It's 20 plus degrees, and that's going to be a significant change for the guys to, you know, it's probably our first warm race of the year.
Yeah, so looking at Adam Sterry here, looking at the lap times, I think that our fourth place man Jamie Carpenter is he starting to chip away at this a little bit. It's looking just over 3 seconds to Josh Gilbert. It visually looks a little bit closer the last time by, and obviously he's broken away from Taylor Hamill, so he's got the carrot in front of him. He's got his teammate who obviously away at the front, but he will be wanting to get onto the back of Josh Gilbert on that Lexa Honda. And like I say, that team put in a lot of time and effort in to get to the GPs as well, and that shows when you come out. Clouds looking really dark in the background there, Justin. We could be in for another bit of a
rain shower.
I'm not sure whether that's what already went over us or not about 5 minutes ago. I'm hoping that it is, otherwise there's a few people out there who are going to be needing to buy brollies. Yeah, well, we definitely don't need what they had here on Friday evening, but with that big thunderstorm they had on Friday evening, it's made for a really, really technical racetrack, which is perfect. And you know, all credits to the club for doing such a great job in preparing the track as well. It's and it's showing now. You know, it's, you know, with Conrad checking out in front, he's running on basically a 2 to 3 seconds a lap quicker than these guys, which is incredible, really. And Josh and Adam here now, I think this is obviously where the battle is, but you know, they don't want to be too complacent and get caught up in their own battle for the second. Because Jamie Carpenter's not far away, and anything can change there. Yeah, it looks like Tristan Purden on the SC Sport Homes Husky, he's managed to find his way past Chris Mills into sixth figure. So there's Sterry fires it up the bank. Starting to get quite choppy down the bottom end of that drop off now, and the same as this inside and outside rut there as they go up through around the bend out the top end of the circuit.
just looks, you know, to myself, I mean, we're probably halfway through this race by now, and Adam just looking a little bit fatigued, collapsing on the bike quite a lot, sat down, you know, in certain areas where Josh is still very light on the bike, hopping and skipping the bumps, and I think the pressure is really starting to get to Adam, and he's riding probably a bit tense, maybe a bit of arm pump, something like that. But Josh is really sensing, you know, sniffing blood and tasting it, and he's going to be really looking for that second spot very shortly.
So it's closing up now. Here comes Gilbert. He is really pushing on.
But look at Jamie Carpenter. He's really closing in that gap as well. This is a fantastic battle for the second spot.
Is that Hamill there as well? No, Hamill's the second Kawasaki.
Yes.
So he's the second Kawasaki there, getting Tristan Purdon up close and personal. They're making their way through the back section of the circuit up into the Apico loop. And this is going to be a three-rider battle for second place.
Yeah, I mean, it's really starting to tighten up there, and Jamie Carpenter having the best ride I've seen him all year, to be totally honest with you, up in that position there. And yeah, I mean, Conrad's out, you know, 17, 18 seconds in the front. You know, he's got a very comfortable race in front of him. But like I say, this battle for second place is where it's at, and this is where Josh now has to be a little bit creative if he wants to make a pass in line. And there you go.
Squares him off. Adam moves him over. But I like tracks like this with no ruts, because Adam had to defend the inside, giving Josh the rest of the track to do his work. He's going to cut back.
Here we go.
Oh, is he going to? Yeah. Oh, nice pass.
Set him up 2 corners before, outside, back to inside, opened up the corner, and made a really great pass there. And you know, very experienced move that from Josh. And I think you'll see now, look, if you see here, Jamie Carpenter is all over.
He's there, isn't he?
Yeah, he's all over there. And I think, like I say, Adam Sterry is the one who's looking the worst off, if you like. And Jamie Carpenter looking very strong. Adams, it looks like he's struggling, whether it's arm pump or bike setup or what. But I think Jamie Carpenter's going to make the pass down the inside there.
Yeah, that's where we saw the lead change. So there is Gilbert, the 326, but Jamie Carpenter, this could be a 1-2 for the Crendon Honda team if Carpenter can find his way past Gilbert, because he is the man on the move.
Yeah, so Jamie Carpenter's passed Adam Sterry already, so that's a great ride for Jamie. And like I say, it's really nice to see Jamie up in that front and really having a great, you know, push for the second spot.
Maybe a little bit of arm pump or something. Purdon looks like he's moved up another position. Oh no, Taylor Hamill's still in there just in front of him. So here is, I've got to ride it down. What's that? That looks like Calvin Guy, that.
Yeah.
On the Husqvarna, so he's just took the front going in there by the looks of it, tipped over.
So we've got like 10 minutes plus 2 laps to go. So you're probably talking on the basis of that around about 5 or 7 laps to go. So it's anyone's to play for right now. Who's your money on?
Well, obviously, I think it's fair to say that Conrad's running hit at the front of this one. But this next couple of laps, I think will, if Jamie Carpenter can feel that he can pull Josh Gilbert in a little bit on this lap, I think we're going to see him try and run him down before the end of the race. Adam Sterry not able to keep the pace of these 2 Hondas. It's going to be a Honda lockout, the podium positions as it stands at the moment.
Yeah, Honda domination for the front 3. But one thing that Jamie will know, they've ridden together a long time, is that Josh is extremely fit. And, you know, this is going to be, you know, a tough thing and a tough ask for Jamie to do. Yeah. Jamie's also extremely fit, don't get me wrong, but, you know, Josh, a vast amount of experience doing the Grand Prix as well, so he's used to long motos with the 30+2s and the 35-minute motos at the GPs. So, you know, he knows that he's got that fitness side of him. But still, nevertheless, it's a great ride for Jamie Carpenter. And, you know, something he can really look forward to race 2, and if he got out the gate with Conrad.
Yeah, and like I say, if you can get a start, then you never know. And sometimes you see riders just have that breakout ride where everything, you will know yourself, you know, sometimes you just have that ride where you wonder why everybody else is going slow. Just works.
It's, you know, that's the difference with the whole shot, you know. And when you get out on that front from lap 1, you kind of like to dictate the pace of the whole race.
Yeah.
And you know, you've seen it with Oriol Oliver. He just got out the front, clean lines, set his own pace, and it's for everybody else then to make the catch up. But I mean, you know, Josh is looking really strong in that second place, and within 2 laps they've dropped Adam Sterry by a good, you know, 5 to 6 seconds.
So the gap last time, boys, they came across the line. Gilbert and Carpenter, so that's the battle for second position. They make their way through the trees.
28 seconds now to Conrad.
He's showing his class. He's riding himself back into bike fitness.
Different postcode today.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is the class of British Motocross in the open class as it stands at the moment. And
it's just a shame, you know, I was speaking to him, he's not going to be at the British Grand Prix, which was the real shame, which I'd love to have seen him there, but for whatever situation, he's not going to be there. I believe he's going to be going to Arnhem for the Dutch Grand Prix.
Yeah, I think that's what I was told as well.
Yeah. But it's, you know, I obviously I've worked with Conrad, you know, closely for a fair few years, and he's been brilliant around Matley Basin, and you know, I think it's a shame because I think the English crowd would have loved to have seen him there, but I don't think, you know, he feels that he's ready to go and face the best riders in the world right now. Maybe, you know, just that, you know, he's looking at the speed side of things. He thinks he's a couple of seconds off. Even though you watch him here and he looks, you know, absolutely flawless. But if you start putting Roman Fevre and Jeffrey Hurlitz into the mix, then all of a sudden you have a different racetrack. But, you know, hopefully by Arnhem he can get up to pace and go from there, you know.
So, yeah, it's like I say, it's a shame, but he's the guy that's got to make the decision. And like I say, he's been riding his way back into it after an early season injury. And if you're not ready, you're not ready. But Carpenter is still dogging the back of Josh Gilbert on the Lexa MX Honda. The Crendon True 17, and it's currently lying first and third. That outfit always produced a nice bike.
They're pretty well matching each other's lap times, lap after lap on those last 2 laps. And yeah, like we were talking about before, it's one thing catching him, but being able to make that pass.
Yeah.
And as you go into the latter stages of this race, you know, the energy levels obviously are decreasing. And is he wanting to make that move in this first race when he knows that he's got another 25+2 for race 2 later on? You know, it's a part that you've got to really play carefully, because for him to possibly try and make a pass on Josh, he might have to make a few risks and the possibility of crashing, and then all of a sudden it's a different second race.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I would say here is that what we're seeing is that Carpenter's 4th in the championship, and he's got the guy who's in 3rd in championship right under his nose.
Yeah.
He's closed him down because the gap was 3 seconds, and now it's about 1.7. So he's making enough headway there to make the push worthwhile. And like you say, you might get a bad start in the next one, and he's saved energy for nothing.
It swings and roundabouts, you know. Josh, to myself, looks very comfortable in that position. It looks like he's not actually exerting too much energy, if I'm honest. You know, he's got the second place under control. So if Jamie does come at him a little bit harder towards the latter stages of this race, maybe he has got something in reserve, I'm not sure. But Josh does look very, very comfortable there. And we see that Tristan Purdon has also gone past Adam Sterry as well. So I'm not sure if Adam Sterry's got a problem, or, you know, the track is just pretty well beating him up, if I'm honest.
If he's not, but obviously if you're getting if you're having issues somewhere that you can't ride round, all you're going to do then is try and keep yourself up on 2 wheels. So Purdon having a good run on the SC Sport Homes Husky. Yeah. Gilbert's been kept honest here by Jamie Carpenter. I think the gap just may have gone out on about half a second. So there is
Tristan Purdon coming through. Watching Purdon on lap 1, he didn't get the greatest of starts, and I think he was, you know, out of the top 10. So that's, you know, so he's had to work hard in this race to get up to that position.
Hamill's come through in 5th, so Sterry has I think Sterry has had a tip off somewhere because he's now back to 6th position. So all of a sudden, 2nd place in the championship. With Josh Gilbert sat in 2nd at 10 points adrift of Adam Sterry. That is a big swing going into Moto 2 for the Lexter Honda rider. He'll be happy with his afternoon's work. Like I say, we didn't see Adam go down, but he's now currently in 6th, just in front of Chris Mills.
Best ride I've seen with Josh all year, and like I say, we're speaking to him in the week. They've got a new machine, new engines built, and so I think he's got a really good package underneath him now, and obviously you can see with his riding, he's finding that confidence, and this will be the best ride I've seen him have all year, really.
But Carpenter is closing them down as they came through down into this loop. They go out into the woods, and we'll pick them up in through the meadow section of the circuit up into the Apico loop, and he's definitely there, not giving any kind of thoughts of giving up at this moment in time.
No, that's correct, and the time is ticking down, and it's going to be a real push towards the end if Jamie wants to do anything. He's running out of time here, and
so it's 3 laps to go with Conrad Mewse already over the line, so we will get the 2-lap board next time. And right on cue there is our race leader, Conrad Mewse then.
Now you can just watch what Conrad does with the bumps and how technically he looks at a track quite a vast amount different to other riders, if I'm totally honest with you. He plays with the bumps so beautifully. He's like a ballerina on the bike, and with that way of riding, you can, conserve so much energy, and that's obviously going to help him just gain that, control of the bike. And with that way of riding, it just opens the track to other options. You'll watch him come down here, he'll start popping the front wheel up over bumps, skipping around, feet up on the pegs, and it's a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, those are the kind of things, like you say, with riders of his calibre, you'd watch them ride around a track on their own, just to see all of that kind of stuff going on. Just popping through, that's the 365 of Sam Nunn. Obviously got some tape in the back wheel there, so he's had a problem, but well into the tail end of the field now, putting these guys a lap down. So we'll run through the top 10 quickly. It's still Conrad Mewse from Josh Gilbert, with Jamie Carpenter in 3rd, Tristan Purden 4th, and it's Taylor Hamill, Adam Sterry, Chris Mills, John Adamson, Martin Barr, and in 11th place, is that Mio?
See then, I don't know if you just saw with Conrad just coming over the line there, he uses the bumps, he wheelies over 3 or 4 bumps, drops the front wheel in before the turn, and away he goes. And there again, he's just hopping and skipping through the bumps. He sees the track a lot differently to others, and rather than seeing the bumps as that they're a problem, he looks at bumps and thinks, right, what can I do with these to create some magic? And he's very good at that. There you go, he does it again there, and just ran a little bit long on that turn, but
it's quite loose there with the stones sitting at the top of the hill with the sand washed off it, so just nearly caught him out a little bit, but he's not under any pressure whatsoever. So Matthew Mio was the man who was currently in 10th, and it's Carlton Husband, Liam Knight, Dan Thornhill, Joel Rizzi, Luke Bedstead, and then it was Sam Nunn, who we just saw go a lap down. He's there, I think, in 16th.
40-second gap now from the 2nd place for Conrad Mewse, and it looks like Josh has just opened up a little bit more of a gap now over Jamie Carpenter. So
yeah, it's gone out to 2 and a bit seconds.
So I think whatever Jamie was trying to bridge that gap, he might have just exuded himself a little bit more and thought, right, okay, I've still got another race to go. Maybe let's try and conserve some energy. And like I say, hydration for the guys is very, very important today, and getting the food in. It's very warm, so keeping the guys hydrated is very, very important.
This middle section of the circuit, had a look around this yesterday, and really nice, a little bit reminiscent of Link going through the trees, but it reminds me very much of like a French style of track as well. Very, very compact with some trees for coverage.
Yeah, I mean, it's, the over the years, I've been coming here for I don't know how many years, but you know, a lot of the track has kind of like stayed the same like that through that section through the woods. There has always been in there, but the basis of this circuit has always been the same. They've made obviously changes with different jumps over the eras and over the decades, and it's a great racetrack and definitely one of the highlights for our motocross season coming here.
So final lap then for Conrad Mewse. We'll just have a look at the times and see what the gaps are. Tristan Purdon is closing in.
Yeah, he's really pulling up on this last lap.
Conrad's across the line soon if we can. That looks like that's good. Yeah. We'll try and pick it up here.
Oh, Tristan Purdon's actually gone into third now then.
Yeah, look like it.
Yeah, Tristan Purdon's the man on the move, isn't he?
Yeah, just trying to pick up that battle on track. But here is our race leader, Conrad Mewse, on the final lap of the race. K-Tech Tower, you can see 40 seconds. That back end of the circuit then jumping into the shadows. And
the Honda of Conrad Mewse's bike is looking absolute. I know he rides it really, really well, but it looks so balanced and so nice to control. And they've got a really good setup on the Honda this year. Awesome ride for Conrad. He's very happy with that one. You can see a big fist bump from him.
So there's victory for Conrad Mewse. Then he takes victory in Moto 1 of this Apico MX1.
So as we wait for the second place battle to come through, we're just seeing Tristan Purdon.
They're trying to pick that up.
There's Josh. Is that Josh Gilbert coming through? No,
that's too soon.
Yeah.
So Carpenter. So there's Jamie Carpenter then. So Tristan Purdon has managed to get himself up to third. So there's Purdon going
through.
Yeah, so it looks like Carpenter maybe had a problem because he's lost a lot of time. So that explains what's gone on there then. So this is Carpenter.
Yeah, must have had an issue off screen. Yeah.
So we were watching that on the timing, just trying to see what had gone on. But it is then a win for Conrad Mewse from Josh Gilbert. Tristan Purdon comes through from. That's a really good ride for him to come through to third. Jamie Carpenter in fourth. Taylor Hamill fifth. Adam Sterry sixth. Chris Mills seventh. Martin Barr eighth. Ninth Matthew Mio and 10th Carlton Husband. Who did we lose out of the top 10 on that final lap? Not sure. John Adamson, he's down there in 17th. So that is your top 10 for our Apico Factory Racing MX1 Moto 1. A convincing win then for Conrad Mewse. So we're going to take a quick break. Thank you very much, Justin Morris, for coming in, sitting in for this race for me. We're going to take a quick ad break.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be off to the winner's circle.
Thank you for having me.
Dirt Store, your online one-stop shop for off-road essentials. All the latest products from the top motorsports brands. Gear, bike parts, protection and accessories. Whether it's an upgrade for you or your bike, Dirt Store has it all.
Okay, here we are in the winner's circle for the Apico MX1 class. Conrad just doing his hair. Another immaculate ride, mate, hopping and skipping your way around that track. Maybe doing that a bit more, though, damage limitation. We mentioned last time out, you've kept it relatively quiet about your wrist injury, but it's still causing you issues. I know you wouldn't have thought it at that performance, but is that affecting the way you ride? Maybe thinking more about not slamming into stuff and, being a bit more caressing the track, as it were?
I mean, no, to be brutally honest, I think when the adrenaline kicks in, I think that I can't feel the wrist too much. But yeah, I mean, struggling a bit. I've had a long time off the bike, and I'm just not up to speed, It's just, I'm not up to speed, I'm not up to fitness, so it's a grind, but I'm trying my hardest. I'm managing to still get the job done, which is amazing. Shout out to the Crendon 27 Honda Racing team. Give me a fantastic bike, make my life easier with the start. So, but yeah, we're going to, had a bit of arm pump in that one. That's why I kind of related to the hop in and, just trying to relax the arms a little bit. But, yeah, we're going to regroup now and, hopefully be a bit better in the second one. I mean, I'm happy with a win, don't get me wrong, but I'm happy when I ride like myself, and that wasn't that. So, we're going to go back, see if we need to make a couple of changes. I think it's probably just me. So I need to go and have a word with myself in the mirror, and then we'll go again.
I just want to highlight here, because Conrad wouldn't do this. Not that you need defending, but what I mean by that, mate, that's not to be confused with any degree of arrogance. That's, you race the stopwatch, you want to perform at the highest level. Obviously you just convincingly won the moto, but that's the standards that you're setting, is what we're basically implying.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not taking anything at all away from the other riders. Yeah. They ride great, and like, no matter how far they are behind me, I constantly push, so they're constantly keeping me on my toes, which is great. But like you said, I just want to race the lap times, because I know in a few weeks when we got Jeffrey coming over, he's going to be able to do it for 30 minutes. So, I'm just trying to build myself up to that, but we're a long way off at the minute, but we've got some good weeks coming up, and, hopefully we can get back to that.
And the points keep rocking up, so that's the main thing.
That's the main thing, the points. I earned quite a lot. I gained quite a lot in that race, so, yeah, I'm happy with that. So as long as we keep the red plate on this Honda, I'll be happy.
Good stuff. Conrad, we'll probably see you up in the second moto. I should imagine we will. He's going to move out of the way. Let's move in Josh Gilbert, who came in second. So Conrad, go. Nice round of applause from everybody here. Sorry about the noise. Let's bring in Josh. Nicely in. Come on, Josh, let's get this done before it hammers with rain. The track had a lot of rain leading into it. That was a solid performance. Are you happy with that?
No, not really. That was
no,
I just want to ride better in myself. I just rode that whole race with arm pump, and then the last sort of 10 minutes, I've actually been quite ill the last 2 weeks, and I haven't done a lot of training. I rode this week a couple times just to try and get going again, but that last 10 minutes has really took it out of me, and with the arms as well. Hopefully we can tweak a few things with the bike and be a bit more relaxed from the get-go, so I can ride properly at the start, and then maybe have a chance to back it off at the end. Looking through our monitors and looking at the track, it looks like it's the best it's been for a long time. That heavy rain seems to, the track looks mint. A challenge, but genuinely in good nick. Yeah, I always quite like it here, actually. This year, because it's rain, there's a few more soft pockets, so it sucks the bike in a little bit differently. So, it's quite hard to actually set the bike up, because they're, really, really, soft pockets, but sharp edges. So it, sucks the bike in, and then it pings you forward, so then it upsets you going into the turns. But, yeah, no, I think I like it. It's good. It's maybe slowed it down a little bit. But yeah, no, I like it here normally regardless. Go and get that arm pump sorted out. Hopefully you have an improved performance. Are you still happy with second though, right? Yeah, I'm definitely happy. Yeah. I want to be happy with second and my riding. Right. Yeah. Good stuff. Well, go and get yourself cleared up. Let's bring in a last change around here. Tristan coming in, Tristan Purden. I've lost my earpiece. Wow, I walked up here to come and do the winner's circle. When I left the booth, you wasn't in third, and then you came in. So just talk us through those last few laps.
I was all in. I need a good result. It's been pretty bad lately, and just confidence been down. But after that, it was pretty good, and I just put my head down, found some good lines. We've made some progress with the bike. Thanks to Neil and the team. I appreciate all the hard work, and it's nice to get on the box. I know this is where I belong, and I just need to get out the gate. But yeah, thanks to everyone, my family back home, and just the whole team. Just appreciate everything.
Good bit of international airtime. Not quite Hangtown.
No, I like this. Yeah. I don't mind the rain, especially here. So,
yeah. Well, good luck in the second one there. Tristan, bring it in third.